in this example, again we look at implicit differentiation. You're supposed to find dy dx, and you're given the equation 2y equal to x squared plus 9y. So we just differentiate 2y, just differentiate both sides with respect to x. Differentiate 2y will give you 2 dy dx. Differentiate x squared gives you 2x. Differentiate sin y will give you cosine dy dx. Differentiate sin y is actually cosine y. But because it's pi term, you add dy dx. Then after that, you observe that the two term with dy dx is this one, 2 and cosine y, right? So you bring cosine y to the left hand side, so it becomes 2 minus cosine y, dy dx equal to x. So dy dx is 2x over 2 minus cosine y. Let's look at two more examples. Let's look at two more examples. It's also on implicit differentiation. Here you have x cubed plus y cubed minus 9xy, and you're supposed to find dy dx. Okay, differentiate x cubed will give you 3x squared. Differentiate y cubed will give you 3y squared, but because it's y term, so you write dy dx. And then you need to differentiate 9xy, so it's ddx xy equal to ddx 0. Differentiate x cubed gives you 3x squared. Differentiate y cubed gives you 3y squared dy dx because y term. And for the xy term, the 9 you can write outside, so you have to differentiate xy. So it's what I showed you previously. This is uv. So it means you keep x, then you differentiate y. Plus you keep y, differentiate x. Differentiate 0 is 0, so don't worry. Differentiate x. So differentiate xy, you use product rule. So it's x ddxy plus y ddxx. So it gives you x dy dx plus y. So it means this part should be replaced by this answer. So it means it should give you 3x squared plus 3y squared dy dx minus 9 and then x dy dx minus 9y equal to 0. So just substitute ddx xy by these two terms. So it should give you minus 9 times x dy dx minus 9 times x dy dx, which is here. Then minus 9 times y, so minus 9y equal to 0. And then these two terms involve dy dx to put together. So it's 3y squared minus 9x dy dx equal to, and then the 9y and the 3x squared you bring it to the right hand side. Minus 9y become 9y. 3x squared become minus 3x squared. And you can divide by 3. So it's y squared minus 3x. Then dy dx equal to 3y minus x squared. So dy dx would be 3y minus x squared over y squared minus 3x. And you take note that this is same as x squared minus 3y over 3x minus y squared. Yeah? These two are the same because we know that minus a minus b is actually b minus a. Yeah? You can take out a minus sign. So that means you can switch around. To write it as, it means you can use this result. You can write it as negative x squared minus 3y. Numerator you use a fact b minus a is negative a minus b. So you switch x squared and y and 3y term the position a and minus sign. Same thing for the denominator. You switch it to 3x minus y squared and bracket with a minus sign. And after that, you can say these two minus signs cancel. So it's same as this answer. So it doesn't matter you give this answer or this answer, the two answers are the same. Huh? Next we're looking at part B. Part B is in the next slide. So it's supposed to work out differentiate x cubed e power y cosine. You are given x cubed e power y plus cosine xy equal to 2021. It's supposed to work out dy dx. Okay, and to do that, right? At first I must mention the right hand side is a constant. So whether you put 0 or you put 2021, it's the same because if you differentiate both sides with respect to x, differentiate a constant gives you 0. So whether you write 0 or write 201 at the beginning, it doesn't really matter. Huh? Okay, so you need product rule. That means you differentiate x cubed e power y plus differentiate cosine xy equal to differentiate 2021, which is 0. You use product rule. You differentiate x cubed, you get 3x squared, and keep ey. Huh? If you keep x cubed, differentiate ey give you ey dy dx. Differentiate e power x is e power x. Differentiate e power y is e power y dy dx. Right? Okay. So it's x cubed ey dy dx. Next, we look at the differentiating the cosine term. d dx cosine box give you minus sine box. Then d dx box. Remember you have this differentiate. So you can look at the rule cosine, right? You're looking at cosine. Yeah? So differentiate cosine. If you look at the formula, is d dx cosine x equal to minus sine x. It's minus sine x. So which means if you change it to box, it will be minus sine box, d dx box. And now what do we have? You fill in xy. So you fill in xy. Yeah? If you fill in xy, that means you need d dx xy, which we have considered in the previous question. d dx xy is this answer. In the previous part A, right, you consider d dx xy. Right? You consider d dx xy, and you see, is this answer. This answer is d dx xy. So it's x dy dx plus y. So you can just copy this answer here. So that's why it's x dy dx plus y. Yeah? And then you just group the dy dx term together. Okay, yeah. So which means you can actually shift around. So you can keep the x squared 3x squared term ey, and then you expand this out is negative sine xy dy dx minus y is minus x. Let me erase this. I miss out x here, sorry. So it multiply out, there's an x here. So it's actually x. It's actually x times sine xy and dy dx with a minus sign. There's a minus sign. Then it's minus sine xy times y, so it's minus y sine xy and equal to 0. So it's this term minus x sine xy dy dx minus y sine xy equal to 0. And then you can bring around. So it brings the xy sine xy term and the minus and the x cubed e power y dy dx term to the right side. And then you should be able to make this as your answer to dy dx.